Stephen Cuyos is an award-winning priest who specializes in website design and construction and typography. He's now here in the studio this morning to talk about his campaign of spreading evangelism through social media. Good morning, Father, and welcome to Social Daybreak.
Good morning. Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here.
Now, tell us, how do you plan to do this, or what have you done so far on using the social media to evangelize? What have you done so far?
Oh, well, I've been a techie since I was a kid, and it's just natural for me to use all kinds of technologies to proclaim God's word. So what I've been doing lately is I try to use photography. I teach photography, and I also take a lot of photos, and I post them online. And then aside from taking photos, I'm also into graphic design. So I add some text using typography as art.
Yes.
So I also do that. I also actually direct and edit videos because my training is in social communications. I'm a graduate of, I majored in TV. So I have made video documentaries on peace and social issues, and of course related to the church. So
you've developed websites as well,
yeah,
right?
I've also created websites. I've been creating websites since early 2000. So websites for my congregation and also for other religious institutions. And it's fun doing all these things because I get to be able to be in touch with young people using technologies that they use in their everyday life, like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and other social media.
Mas techie ka pa kaysa sa akin, Father. So even one of your websites was recently awarded, the CFA website, right?
Yeah, the Communication Foundation for Asia website won 3 awards, 3 straight years. So it is now under Hall of Fame. So it's a joy to be recognized for something that I love, something that I'm passionate about.
Now, how were you able to spread that passion of yours to other priests as well? And how did you introduce to the Catholic priests and the nuns as well, and how to go online?
Well, I get to be given the opportunity to speak to priests, actually not just to speak to them, but also to give trainings. So I regularly give trainings to priests and nuns, to formators, even to seminarians about the use of social media for evangelization. So I teach hands-on training. Like I teach them photography, I teach them video production.
So they'll know what to put on the Instagram.
Not only that, but
and the
actually
account.
not only the art, the science also, but to use photography as a communication tool.
Yes.
Because photography is not just pointing and shooting, because you make meanings when you take photos, and when you make meanings with images, you're actually able to communicate something very deep. And I really believe in that. In fact, Pope Benedict XVI said that images are also a preaching of the gospel. So when you post an image, because the Catholic Church has always used visual art to communicate its message. Like say, for example, if you go to a church, you see stained glass windows, you see murals, you see everywhere. Because one of the best ways to communicate the message is, in fact, art is a universal tool. Unlike text, for example, not if you come from another language, you would find it hard to understand, say, English or Chinese. But if you use art, like images of the heart, it's more universal.
You can reach more people with it.
Exactly.
No, so I'm thinking the response, it was easy for the priests to accept this, because earlier we were talking about how the Catholics have always been trying to find ways to communicate, to reach out to the public. Or how was the response so far? Was it easy for them to grasp this new technologies? Because it's changing every day, Father. I mean, I can't keep up.
I've given trainings to also bishops and priests and nuns. I'm pleasantly surprised to see that there are actually bishops and priests and nuns who are techies, and there are also, of course, who are not into technology because they have other concerns. Like because there are so many concerns with the church. Like there are people who are assigned in communication, so they are trained in that area. But there are also people who are assigned among farmers. So you wouldn't expect them to use modern...
not as much as probably those who live here in Metro Manila.
They would probably learn more about organic farming. So those who are interested in the use of technology, it's very easy to train them because they have the motivation, and they have the passion, and also they have the basic knowledge and skill. So there are actually many people who are interested in using these technologies. Like right now, if you want to if you don't have time to do Visita Iglesia, you can actually do so online. There's
Pwede ba
Visita
yun?
Iglesia.
Is it not like parang sacrilegious to like do your Visita Iglesia online?
Well, there are people who cannot do it in human ways. Like, for example, if you're bedridden,
bedridden,
or if you're in another
yes.
country where you cannot go to a church, like if you're in a Muslim country, for example. So there's a reason why you need to use the technology. Yeah, there are exceptions. So you can go to visitaiglesia.net, for example, and not only are you able to visit virtual churches, you're also able to read like texts about Lent, about the Lenten season, like Passion, like 7 Last Words. You can do the Stations of the Cross online. You can even have retreats and recollections. There are actually many websites offering all those things.
And you're also advocating a cyber wellness, which you've been teaching students as well around in the Philippines, right?
Yeah, around the country. I also travel around the country giving talks on cyber wellness. Basically, the main idea of that training is how to keep yourself safe and smart online. Like, because there are so many threats to our privacy and our security online. The most recent one is about Heartbleed, and of course, if
your passwords are
your passwords are vulnerable
to those who
not only your
like
passwords, but other very important private aspect of your life online. So I teach students how to keep themselves safe, but not only how to keep themselves safe actually, but how to be more responsible online,
which we all should be.
Yes.
Even priests, right?
Yeah, even priests. Because some students actually bully other students. That's one problem in schools, bullying. So there are means that, there are ways that, you need to teach them how to be respectful online, how to be, accountable for what they do online.
Well, Father Stephen Cuyos, thank you so much for joining us this morning, and we look forward to seeing more of your works, especially your typography works. I'd like to see them sometime. I'm gonna search it now in the internet.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. More news and features are still ahead, but before we take a breather, we introduce you to a classical guitar genius. Keep it here on Solar Daybreak.